welcome to another episode of He Says, She Says, the Zoom edition, where we talk about life stuff. This is my co-host, Jovan.
Hi, I'm Jovan. I'm a speaker trainer and coach, and I'm an author of an upcoming book, and I have another podcast called The Possibility Show. Go check it out. And my amazing partner.
His partner in this show is me, Denise Wong, the boring employee. I have an alter ego called The Denise Wong because the makes anybody seem more important, right? It's on Facebook and look for it. The Denise Wong, not just Denise Wong, but the Denise
Duh.
Wong. Okay. The enough to tell. Oh, gee.
What's our topic?
Topic of the day. Oh, I'm so focused. Okay. Oh goodness me, this is huge. Okay. Wow. Topic of the day is overcoming heartbreak. The difference between a man and a woman. Should we do a he say first or she says first? Overcoming heartbreaks. But then I'm quite manly in the way that I do things, very practical.
Okay.
That helps me to understand men. I'm half a man. I mean, inside, not physically.
You. Well, statistics says that I don't know where I got this, but statistics says
Wow, unconfirmed sources.
that there are more men that kills themselves because of heartbreak than women.
Really? Why did they say why in the article or in the unknown unconfirmed source?
If I remember correctly, when they say that men takes it more seriously, and that they probably most likely would end their lives because of that.
Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about it that way. Also, because men kind of bottle things up. I mean, between guys to guys, unless you're really, really close friends, you guys also don't talk about heartbreaks.
Exactly.
Right.
So one of the episodes that we talked about is that men don't talk much, right? And there's science backing that up. So I'll try and research more on where I got that information. That probably
unconfirmed source. You need to confirm that source.
Post it in our YouTube or in our website or whatever.
Yes, we will post it in the comments below or in the description below. His unconfirmed source will confirm. He will confirm. So what is the difference for you that you think for yourself? I mean, that he says, this is the he says part.
So the main difference is that guys don't actually really talk about it when they experience heartbreak, and based on my own experience as well, I can say that's the case. In fact, I was very close to ending it, and it's because it's exactly that. I was thinking that I can handle this. I can handle this on my own. I wasn't reaching out to my friends or
ego.
My family. You can say that it's probably my ego. But yeah, so that's and then reading that article confirmed that's the case.
So how did you overcome it? Let's talk about the toughest one. Or you need to go from a gradient, like the lowest gradient one to the highest gradient. Or should we just straight go for the highest gradient? The toughest one, how did you overcome it?
How I overcame the toughest one is the desire to stay alive, like to live. Because I went into like really, really at the end, right? Like wanting to end it. But then there's something inside of me that tells me that, there's still more to life, and keep going. And so that desire to actually live brought me here, where now I'm helping other people, and if I just ended it there, then imagine that.
Yeah, well then, the first thing I would say then there wouldn't be any show at all.
There'll be a ghost.
Oh, that's a bit freaky. But so So you overcome it by the little voice inside of you saying that there's more to life than just this girl.
But I was in a downward spiral already, like, because I wasn't talking to anyone. Even though I was interacting with a lot of people, I had 2 jobs during that time. I was still going out with some friends, drinking. I was still chatting with my family, and yet I wasn't sharing what I was really feeling inside. So
I think all
that's
this.
very interesting. Yeah.
So that means that those conversations that you were having were not really like in-depth conversations. They were not
No.
in-depth conversations that help you to release emotions.
Nope. It was
Yeah,
very
because I
very
realize a
surface.
lot. Yes, I realize that guys are very compartmentalized in that sense. If you know guys from work, you will just talk about work usually, and maybe a little bit of other things like soccer or tennis, whatever your interest is. If you know somebody from playing soccer, you will usually talk about soccer.
Yep.
Things like that. Yeah, that's very compartmentalized. So
yeah. I like when you say that compartmentalized. There's this YouTube video about how the brain of women and men work.
yes,
And men have rooms inside their
yes,
brain.
yes, like HDB flat like that. Right? You think about it, it's true, right?
Yeah. And each
So the car,
topic
yeah,
have rooms
are different.
inside.
It's a different HDB flat. So imagine right now for all the viewers who are from Singapore, look out your window, you see all the HDB flat with all the windows, right? Each window is a topic for guys.
Yeah.
So imagine level 1 is the car, level 10 is relationship. So they have to take the leave from level 1 go to level 10. Then they can talk about relationships. That's why it's very difficult for them. Okay.
Yeah.
But for girls, our mind is like spider web like that. Everything is linked together.
Yeah.
This is also why girls when we reach at a certain point that's in depth, we can talk about anything, including how we feel. And I think maybe it's also society expectations that men need to be stronger, females can show weakness. But then it is a pretty recent realization for myself that being vulnerable or showing that you're vulnerable is actually one of the biggest form of bravery or courage out there.
Yep.
Because it is very, very scary to show people that you're vulnerable. That's why a lot of people don't do it. Yet so you have to be really, really brave to show that you're vulnerable versus putting on a brave front.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It is a different way of courage.
Yes. So how long were you together with that girl?
Very long.
Like 20 years? Long?
Close. Between 10 and 20.
Oh, between 10 and 20 is such a big gap. It's okay. That was anyway for the listeners and viewers. That was not for your benefit. That was just for my benefit because I'm a K-pop. So yeah. And I think Jovan knows it. That's why he's like, oh, between 10 to 20 is like, there's like a decade difference in between there. What is he talking about?
10 and 15. Okay, 10 and 15.
Wow, now he narrows it down. Ridiculous. Okay, next. I don't need to talk about this anymore. For me, how I overcome it. It's I sound a little bit like a guy in that sense. Like, if I can talk about it, it means it's not that difficult for me yet. But something that is really, really tough for me, I cannot talk about it. I am just physically unable to talk about it. I cannot open my mouth and say something. It just gets stuck inside. So for me, I think the most terriblest, the terriblest.
It's
my England's
terriblest, not terribler.
Yeah, it's terriblest.
Yeah, let's clarify. Okay.
Terriblest is my ex just before my husband. Maybe he's watching this even. Ooh, it's you. But anyway, yeah, that was a terriblest ever. Because I'm a very guyish kind of girl in the sense that I'm not this kind of princessy romantic where every guy that I get together with, I think I'm going to marry and live happily ever after. I'm not like that. But the one just before my husband, he I really thought I was going to marry him. That was how I knew I was very into him in that sense. But I think we were at a now in hindsight I realized that he told me that he can envision me being his girlfriend, but he cannot envision me being his wife. I think most yeah, I think it really hurt at that point in time. But on hindsight, I think it's true because we were at different stages in life. So even though we were 5 years apart, if let's say he is maybe 40 and 35, not so much difference because we are both working. But I was in my I was in my, maybe 25, was it then? Yeah, 25, he was probably 30. So we were at the starting stage of something else.
Yeah.
I'm at the ending stage of something else. So that was like a difference there. That was why he decided to break up with me. And it was really terrible because I didn't even tell. I'm very close with my family and my sister because we share a bedroom. I didn't even tell any of my family members that he broke up with me because it was just, the pain was just too much to even talk about. That was how bad it was. And then how my parents found out was because I stopped going out on the weekends. Because usually weekend you have boyfriend, you'll go out, right? Then after a while, after a few weeks, they're like, how come you never go out with the guy? I was almost going to say his name there. Oh my goodness. Horror. The guy. Then after that, I said, oh no, we broke up already. Then my mom was like, huh, really? Because at the time we were together for, was it 3 years? I think 2.5, 3 years. I don't remember. So it was really difficult. I guess maybe it was the same for you. I walked to the train station on the way to work. Suddenly, the tears would just come down. And I didn't even know I was crying until I felt my face was wet. And then I'll be typing an email halfway, suddenly the tears would come down. It was very, very odd for me because that's not how I usually am. And how I overcame it was I needed time to kind of, I'm lucky in the sense that I have never ever thought about ending my life, never. Because I have ego also, I have a certain pride, a certain ego that there are so many other guys out there. It is very difficult now, but he's not the only one. I'm sure I can find somebody else better suited. Better lah, whatever, on the beach is fine. So so what I did was I went on a trip alone, not far away, just to one of the islands in Indonesia, and just for like a few days to kind of gather myself. And really all I did there was have the buffet breakfast. Woo, food always helps me. And then I would sleep in a room. I would cry as much as I needed to. So it was like a self-releasing kind of trip where I didn't have, because my sister was sharing a room with me, and I'm sure she would have supported me, but I was not ready to show that yet. So I needed a space where I could just be alone and just do whatever I needed to without needing to care about how other people would feel or how that would affect other people. So I took a alone trip, and then I basically, some people, it's better for them not to think about sad things because it brings them to a downward spiral where they cannot get out of.
Yeah.
For me, what I did was I purposely went through in my mind everything that we did, just so I could fall to the very deepest sadness that I could. Because for me, once you're at the very bottom, there's only one way to go. That's up.
That's true.
And I know I don't know, the thought just never entered my mind that I'll end my life. I just needed to get to the, so even the way I deal with it was very guyish. My point was I need to get to the bottom as quick as I can, as brutally as I can, so that I can come out again. That's all. That's why I went on the alone trip. And then I was like just wailing in the room. Maybe my neighbor thought there was a ghost. Because I was like, then I was beating the pillows and all that. It was a very, so I really went like really inside, down, until I'm like, okay, I think I cried until the point where I had no tears left. So I was like, I think that's about it. That's about it. And then this is the only way to go is up. So that was how I dealt with it. Like getting to the bottom as quickly as possible.
I think there's huge similarity, just like what you were saying. But there was also a slight difference in terms of if I compare it to mine, because you were saying you were already thinking that after you go to that deep place, the only way to go is go up, right?
Yes. So it was intentional.
Yeah. Whereas
I was intentionally remembering all the memories, all the hurtful things that he said to me when we broke up, even though he probably tried to be as gentle as he can, but a breakup is never good. So, So
whereas me, I was doing exactly the same thing. In fact,
but not intentionally.
I mean, I didn't had kind of like an end game or an exit. Like I was just doing what you were saying, like feeling it, everything, like reminiscing, and it just, pretty bad. It was just pretty bad. Except that when I reached that point, when I was also wailing, one night I was like shouting, right? And then this desire or whatever it is that is in me that was telling me, that keep on living. So I thought, oh, good, very interesting.
Yeah, but
Similar
mine was
yet different.
intentional. Mine was intentional. I went on the trip, I think within a month of breaking up because I knew I needed the space.
Nice.
So I think about 3 months, then the tears stopped enough to carry on. But the hurt was still there lah. It was only fully
For
after,
sure.
I think, only after a year, then I felt ready for somebody else. How long did it take you?
Wow. Because after more than a year, I went and tried to patch things up, and I think again it's about a shift in my perspective. And so when I realized, because I was angry, and so I came out of the relationship very angry. I despised her. And so after a year, of course, after personal development as well, I realized that I had that anger because there was something on the other side of that, which is I still love her. Because if I didn't love her, then I wouldn't be angry.
You wouldn't feel anything at all.
Correct. So I would be, this is fine. I don't, love her. So when I realized that, then I shifted my focus on the love. And so just like what I was saying about the first love in our previous episode, so I acknowledged that I still love her, and so I tried to patch things up, but it didn't work out in the end. And so I still love her, even though it didn't work out. But that love changed, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So I still love her as a person, someone I spent this many years with. But then, of course, now it cannot happen, and it won't happen. So that love changed, and it became much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when you let go of whatever's inside, it becomes a lot easier.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you were saying that you handled it like kind of like a guy.
In a way, yes.
How
Because
would
I
a
knew
normal
that
girl would handle it then?
I have no idea. All my girlfriends are just as abnormal as me, I think.
That's
That's why we are friends, all right? I mean, a
True,
normal
true.
girl would never, want to be like, oh, Denise so weird. I don't know what girls do, but I'm sure they are clingy types who threaten to kill themselves, leave tons of messages. I left tons of messages for the ex too until a point of time. He didn't reply. At that time, we were on SMS, not WhatsApp, okay, SMS. He didn't reply until
This
one.
is so long ago.
Yeah, until one time, I remember, until the very final message, he texted me and said, I think we should stop texting me. And that is when, and what made me stop, what about that sentence made me stop? It's not his sentence, it's that my pride got hurt. I was telling myself in my heart, I say, Denise, this guy don't want you anymore. Why you like some cheap person keep throwing yourself at him? If he doesn't understand your value, somebody else will. Okay? Move on. Come on, let's get going. Stop making yourself more pathetic than you already are. So that was my ego, and that kind of helped me to get a grip on myself.
Yeah.
Literally. Get a grip. Stop texting him. Wrong hand. Stop texting him.
Wrong hand.
Yeah. So yes.
Cool. So ego is not that bad after all.
I think nothing is ever that bad. A character trait is never. There's always a flip side. Like determination. In one situation, determination is good. In another situation, it becomes stubbornness, which may not get what you want. True. So at the end of the day, I think the highest point is where I can turn on, turn off, or like the light dimmer, the light switch dimmer of my different character traits, so that it is the most suitable for that particular setting, and it gets the group to where we want to go versus just like, so it's called personal mastery.
Cool.
Or like wannabe mastery. Yeah, so yes. So for all the listeners and viewers, I'm sure you have like super unforgettable traumatic experiences. Now it's your chance to let it all out.
Yeah. And if you need someone to talk to, just feel free to message. You never know.
Message, I'm going to give them your number in the YouTube channel.
No, but we can get in touch.
Email. Yeah, send us email. We have an email address. Send us an email and we will do a he says, she says reply. So like he says, then he'll reply. She says, then I will reply. That's how we're gonna do it. It's gonna be fun. So so I'm sure it's a turn to let out all the traumatic experiences that you've had and how you overcame them, and or did you actually overcome them or not?
Yeah. It will be good to share. It's good sharing this episode. It's very good sharing.
It is a very deep, and I think that by doing this show, Jovan and I are getting to know each other better.
For sure.
Because I mean, we get along well and we are friends, definitely. But we don't actually talk about such stuff. We don't actually have the time to talk about such stuff because when we meet, we're always busy doing stuff.
Doing other stuff.
Yeah, doing stuff for other people.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's it for this episode. Do share what you are thinking, listeners and viewers. And that's it. And bye.